Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
I am not a parent, apparently, at least not yet. I've, of course, thought about what it would be like to be a parent, to be a dad to more than just a couple of wonderful dogs. They don't need much schooling beyond their training, but if and when I do have kids, I will likely give serious consideration to homeschooling. Not that I don't believe in private schooling or public schooling. Remember, my degree is in English education. I was ready to work in the educational sector here in the U.S. Um, but it's just that I know from my own life experience that I've learned more outside the classroom than I did inside the classroom. I was so frustrated in a lot of my classes. I mean, either because I didn't understand what was going on, I couldn't make the connections, especially in math classes. But just in knowing that there may be a better way or a different way rather than well, for instance, back in the seventh grade, I ended up almost failing math because I could not do long division. Now this is, I don't know if it's still the case now, but you couldn't use a calculator in class. They said, no, you don't want to rely on a calculator. You got to figure out how to do long division. I understood the concepts behind long division. To this day, I have not needed to do long division once. Not once. And I was told I would need to know. Don't need to know. I appreciate the education that I received. Certainly, it was a good education in not just a private school, but also in public school. I wouldn't have changed a thing at that point in time. But we certainly don't have the resources that we do now. The idea of homeschooling is certainly easier. I mean, the internet is more than just a library. It's a treasure trove of experiences. And I know a lot of people who come into the chat room that is protected by moderators. They learn things through the things that we do. Learn things through the things we do. That didn't sound very edumacated. However, I think what I'm trying to say is that people learn because they want to learn, no matter the age, and you never stop learning. And the day you stop learning, really, is the day you die. You're constantly in this state of taking in all this knowledge, and especially in the formative years. I mean, studies have shown that the ability for a child's mind to absorb is just fantastic compared to we old farts. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So I've had this email for a few months now, but tonight I thought I'd share this resource with you because I know there are a lot of parents out there and possibly even kids watching this video who are tired of the system. This is from Robert Michael. And he says, I have just enrolled my daughter in this school for the remainder of her high school career. Somehow this seemed like it might be relevant to your universe. And Rob sent me off to k12.com. And this is the website that's been up on the screen here for the past couple of minutes. They have a curriculum approach talking about exactly why they're doing what they're doing here. They say many children simply do not thrive in the one-size-fits-all approach of a traditional classroom for a variety of reasons, including the classroom pace is moving too slowly for the gifted student. The classroom pace is moving too fast. The student needs 55 minutes to master a concept, but the bell always rings at 50. The student feels left out or bullied. The student can't sit still in class or has a learning challenge. The student falls outside the middle range of the classroom. The class is overcrowded. The student is homebound or traveling for sports or theatrics. The student wants to take a course not available at his or her regular school, including honors, AP, or unique elective courses. This is not a cop-out to education. It's potentially better than the education you may be or your child may be receiving at this point in time. Socialization is extremely important at every stage in life, and despite the fact that I really am a homebody, I do realize that I need to get out every once in a while. I need to socialize with other people, and certainly so do kids. And I consider anybody who's not in college a kid. I mean, anybody, who hasn't yet made it to college, I would consider a kid, K through 12. So they point out very clearly that they're trying to basically provide any child the curriculum and tools to maximize success in life, regardless of geographic, financial, or demographic circumstance. So K12.com may be a resource that you want to check out. Maybe you're frustrated with your school, either as a student or as an adult. And, you need to communicate. Parents and kids need to communicate. You need to have that going on. And that happened with me when I I was in the ninth grade at one high school that I really didn't like at all. And I told my parents, I said, I don't want to be here next year. I just don't. Homeschooling was not an option at that point. There really wasn't much discussion of homeschooling back in the late 80s, certainly compared to the way it is now. And, we end up going to, another high school, one that was closer to home. And I ended up I thought, it wasn't awesome, but I had a wonderful experience at Southeast Polk High School in Runnels, Iowa. And it was a great high school, and likely still is. Haven't been there in years. So I talked to them. We talked it out. We talked it through, and, we made some changes. And, yeah, that's important. I mean, even to this day, I talk to my dad every week. We, don't live anywhere near each other, but our communication's still there. He doesn't get on email all that often, so I actually pick up the phone and call him. It's a little frustrating. Just a little frustrating. So, I wanted to point out this resource, if only because not just Rob had recommended it as a member of the community, as a parent, but, it looks to be pretty extensive. Extensive, not expensive. There's a difference. But then again, can you put a price on a good education? No, you cannot. So take a look around. K12.com. It may be good for you. In one way or another. They've got specific guides for students, parents, teachers, and administrators. If anything, as a supplement, this should make a wonderful, supporting curriculum, potentially. I mean, you just never stop learning. I know school can be tough. School, either online, or in the traditional sense, homeschool, it can be tough. But you have to tough it out. You have to. You just do it, because that's one thing they'll never be able to take away from you. So what's up here? Unless, of course, they scoop out your brains. That I can't protect you from that. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. Maybe you have other suggestions to pass along, resources for homeschoolers or what have you. Maybe you got feedback. You've left a comment here, said, would you rather be homeschooled? Would you rather be in traditional schools? I mean, what are your thoughts? Leave a comment, or, stop by geeks.pirillo.com. We have geeks of all ages there, certainly. And then, of course, we've also got this chat room. As I said, it's kind of policed by moderators. Some people don't like that, but we're strict. Because we have to be, we're making this a safe environment, or attempting to make this a safe environment for everybody. So we're just doing our job, trying to keep the chat room a very safe place to be, no matter your age. Hopefully you're mature enough to join us. We're typically talking tech 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right here. The live video feed in the chat room at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.